Your head looks weird, like
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. Well, welcome back to another episode of Spooked Coast to Coast.
Sorry for the delay, guys, but everything worked out now.
Yeah, we had to test all of our stuff in the background, but we're all good now. And we have an excellent pre-Thanksgiving and Black Friday episode for you. But first and foremost, we got Joy and Joey, JJ Paranormal. What's up, guys?
How you guys doing?
Yo.
Good. And Jen and Mondo, 305 Paranormal. And hey, tell the good folks about the next couple that we're going to have on our show.
Yes.
Our guests.
Special guest tonight is Marissa and Todd. And online, you might know them as Relatively Paranormal Equipment. That's what they go by the website. Facebook is Relatively Paranormal, eBay Relatively Paranormal,
Etsy also too,
and Etsy also. Yeah, I personally bought our XLS camera about 2-3 years ago when he first came out with the XLS. When everybody was trying to get an XLS camera, nobody had it. Todd had it on the website. I jumped on it, and I don't know. I think I'm probably the second person not in South Florida to have that.
Extremely affordable price as well. Not like folks that are willing to take your firstborn child. They don't do that stuff. It's really paranormal. They don't do that.
Yes. And so both Todd and Marissa now live in a old school building, which is said to be active. It was built in 1882, and previously they lived in a house that also had activity. So let's bring them on.
Woo, what's going on?
Hey. Welcome to
Thank you. Thanks for having us on. How's everybody doing tonight? Good?
Oh, absolutely. Good.
Yeah.
I know you guys are busy for end of the year and people buying stuff and presents.
Yeah, this is our big time of year, but we love it. We absolutely love it. We love building equipment. We love helping out the paranormal community any way we can by, like you said, keeping the prices down and the equipment is high quality as our own. What you get is what we use, top to bottom.
Awesome.
Thank you. I want to say thank you to everybody on the chat. Thank you for being here. And also, guys, Joy and Joy are going to be leaving early tonight because they have an investigation that they have to attend to. But we'll still be on, so no worries. And we might get a demonstration at the end of the show, so stick around for that. I can't wait. So a little history or background for both of you. I know you guys said, I think Marissa said you lived in a house that previously was active. Did your paranormal experiences start there, or did you grow up with paranormal experiences? Or
no, I had a couple of strange things like happened before that, but I didn't know if what I had experienced had even really happened, with what happened later on. And since we've investigated for years now, I know now that what I did experience as a child was real. But my grandfather, who I was extremely close to, passed in his sleep of a heart attack. My grandmother didn't even know he had passed for hours. And the house had a strange energy after that. It really did. And I just wrote it off as a 10-year-old kid as like, well, he's missing now, so it's different. But my grandmother immediately moved out of that master bedroom, and they had a beautiful house in a kind of like a well-to-do area around here. And I didn't understand why. And one day I was in that room, like playing on the floor with like some Matchbox cards, G.I. Joes, I don't know. And you know how you can feel someone looking at you, like staring down at you? I looked up and he was standing there. Like he looked real. And it wasn't like a horrifying thing, because to me, he had just passed. Like it seemed to me like he was really there. Like I forgot he had died, kind of thing. And then after like maybe 10 seconds, I realized I could kind of see like the bureau and the painting on the wall through him. And then he was just gone. And that was like my only real paranormal experience up until we moved into that apartment my whole life. Like I didn't know if that was real. I didn't know if ghosts were real. We're both open-minded people. So when we moved into this other haunted building, at first I thought I was going crazy, and Marissa and I just started dating, right?
Yeah. Oh, ghost wasn't a thought.
No.
Wasn't. We were selling cars, both of us at the time. That's where we met. And we just moved into an apartment, you know, like just hooked up and just moved in together and kind of went from there. But so it's not like ghost was even a thought on our mind. It wasn't even, there was just a lot of crazy things happening at the apartment that we just.
How it started is we would sit on the couch and you could see our bedroom door, like the TV was on the wall. You could see the bedroom door out of the corner of your eye, and this like 6 foot tall, like white thing would go by the door like all the time. And I thought I was bugging. I thought I was, man, when I thought I was bugging, I thought I was bugging. And I didn't want to say anything to her. I was like, this girl going to think I'm crazy. She's going to move out. I'm going to be, you know, she's going to break up with me. So like, I let this go for a while. And then one night I saw her and she's sitting next to me and I'm like, hey, see anything weird in this house? And she was like, what, that tall white thing that just walks by the door that does it all the time? And I was like, oh my God, thank God. I thought I was crazy. And she goes, I thought I was going crazy.
Oh my
It was so crazy because like I never said anything. I'm just like, all right, maybe, you know, like it was just, it seemed like on the corner of my eye, I'd always see it just on the corner of my eye. That was it. So I could never really verify like exactly what it was that I was seeing. So I just kept my mouth shut for a while. And then of course Todd said something. I'm like, no way. Really?
You know, what's funny is it was like, as soon as we acknowledged it and it hurt us, shit hit the fan. Like we would see things would disappear all the time. We both have OCD. Keys have a hook when you walk in the door. There's a little basket underneath there. Your wallet goes in there. All this, everything has a place. You'd go to leave the house to get to work, and the keys would be gone, and we'd be tearing the house apart. Listen, that's the first time we argued was because of this. It was like it would try to start arguments, and you know, and then we'd look back, and the keys would be there, and be like, "What the," you know.
We got another argument. So I'm like, you just put them back there. And you're like, no, I didn't. Yes, you did. I know you did. I already looked there. Like it has constantly arguing.
Electronic that we owned previously, and after we moved out, would turn on and off by themselves, and it like TVs that didn't do it before. As soon as we moved out, they stopped doing it. They would manipulate themselves. The faucets would go on by themselves. We would see shadow figures. We would constantly hear stomping around on the floors, like behind the couch. There was like a space to go into one of the bedrooms, and you would hear like walking. It would whisper in your ear, but you would never be able to tell what it was saying. You'd be chilling watching TV, and you would hear like there was like vocal tone to it, but there was no words.
There's like tongue, something like weird language or different language.
It was bizarre, and you could almost like feel it. Like when somebody whispers in your ear, you could almost like feel the air. It was weird, man. One night we were laying in. Go ahead.
Poltergeist activity, right? Is what it sounds like.
Yeah, no, we would see. I saw an iPhone fly across the room,
wow.
off the bureau, gone. One night I came home. I just cashed my paycheck. This is actually kind of a funny story. Marissa was at her mother's house with my daughter. I was going to pick them up.
Mm-hmm.
My wallet. I just cashed a check for like $1,500. I threw my wallet. I had a notebook. I used to write customers' names on, pen, everything in the middle of our queen size bed, right in the middle. I ate a chicken sandwich. I threw on some jeans, whatever. I went to leave. I went there, and everything's on the bed except for my wallet. And I'm like, I'm looking around. I couldn't find it. I thought somebody broke into the house. I grabbed my bat and a flashlight. I started ripping open closets. I said, they're waiting for me to leave, and they're gonna bounce with my paycheck, right? I searched everywhere. For some reason, something told me to look under the bed. It was as if it had like the bed had dissolved and it had fallen straight down, and it was sitting like it was flat on the bed. It was sitting like this in the middle of the floor, like it had just like as if the bed had disappeared for a minute and it fell and turned on its side, and it was sitting this. I couldn't believe it. It was the strangest freaking thing ever, and it was nonstop like that. Cold spots. If we talked about it, it would always, something would always happen. The lights would flicker. It was on and on and on.
And again, it wasn't a thought back then because we never thought of it, but that place happened to be a mile down the road from the Lizzie Borden house. So maybe it's something about the city.
Well, Fall River is an old industrial city. We did see the spirit there twice. I was folding laundry. We had a big mirror on the dresser at the end of the bed type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm folding laundry, and I looked over, and there was an older looking, like I'm Portuguese, so there's a lot of Portuguese folks around here. He looked very Portuguese. He had slicked back black hair. His face was kind of pockmarked. He was wearing a blue, like denim, like factory worker shirt. And I'm looking at him in the mirror, and he was cut off at the waist, like in the middle of the bed, as if the bed wasn't there. And I looked back to the bed, he wasn't there. I looked back to the mirror, he's gone. So I freaked out. I told Marissa, but I would not give her a description. I refuse. Like, I'm not telling you what he looks like, because if she ever saw it, I had to know if what I saw was real.
All right.
Fast forward like 6 months, she screams at like 3 a.m. like there's a stalker in the house standing there with a knife, like bloody, like horror movie scream. I hit the ceiling. I'm like looking around. He's sitting up in bed. We had a night light so you could get to the bathroom without like smashing into stuff. She said she sat up in bed to go to the bathroom, and the guy was in the same spot in the mirror, cut off at the waist. And I said, describe him. And she said, no, black greasy hair. His face was kind of messed up, and he was wearing a blue shirt. I was like, yes. I was all excited. Like, it didn't scare us for whatever reason. It's not something that scares us. I kind of find it exciting, but it was to validate my experience was incredible.
Wow.
It was an incredible feeling, because you all have experienced something that you're thinking to yourself, did I really just see that? Did I really just hear that?
Mm-hmm.
And when you have somebody there who witnessed the same thing, it makes everything like so much better, And then
You're not crazy.
the last thing that because we could do a whole show on this place alone. The last thing that we'll tell you about is something that never occurred to me before we lived there, and has never occurred once since we moved out in 2014 or 15. I would get sleep paralysis like 3 or 4 times a week. And when I talk sleep paralysis, meaning I'd be wide awake in bed. I could see Marissa. I could see the room. I was wide awake. It was not scientific. It would go on for minutes. I could not move. I could not talk. And there was this black shadow thing in the corner of the room with red eyes that used to stand there. And this is going to sound kind of corny, but he looked like a cutout of a Sherlock Holmes victim, meaning like he had no detail really except for the eyes. But this guy had a top hat and like a cloak. He looked like a Sherlock Holmes like villain. Like I saw a documentary about, they call it the Hat Man, but I saw that years later. It would always be there. It would never move. It didn't attack me. And the only way to break out of it would be after like, it seemed like an eternity. I would say Marissa's name, like not even her name. Like I would like try to say her name, and she would wake up and tell him what you would have to do to get me out of it.
Well, first I would sit there and just watch him for a little bit, because I'm like, what the heck's he doing? Like, what is going on? Because I really had no idea what he was doing. He'd be like making weird, I'm like weird noises, but then I'd just be like, yo, Todd, like wake up, like literally shaking him with all my force. And then he would like wake up for like a minute and go, and then he'd just fall right back into it again. And we'd like go on like that back and forth until I finally like have to like pull his arm up, like literally like, pull him up and be like, stay awake, stay awake. It was so crazy. And it happened many times, and it's never happened.
Like it would be so bad sometimes. She would have to like get on top of me and pull me up by my shoulders. And then I would start to tell her what I had just experienced. And then like I would feel it, like my eyes would roll back and I would fall back against the pillow and I'd be right back in it. Homie would be right in the corner again. And then she would shake me out of it again. And then it would be done for the night. I believe she experienced it like once or twice there herself.
I didn't see any people or anything. It was weird because I just couldn't control my body, but I was like awake and asleep at the same time. It wasn't like yours, but it was like I could relate to it, but it wasn't the same as yours. But I just knew that I couldn't control my body no matter what I did. I couldn't wake myself up. I couldn't move so I assume it's probably something similar to what you did.
And it's never occurred since, and it never occurred to me before. So it's not medical, like 10-second sleep paralysis where your body wakes up before your mind. It's just not. My mind was working. I just couldn't move. It's terrifying. It's terrifying. It's absolutely terrible. Listen, I'm not afraid of hardly anything in this world. It's terrifying. I would never want it to happen again. It's horrifying.
Yes, I had that happen once, and that was scary. That was really scary.
It's miserable. It's miserable.
Yeah.
How's everybody doing? So legit, we could honestly do a whole show on that one house. It was insane.
Yeah.
Insane. And we never investigated it because at the time, like we started watching some of the ghost hunting shows, and I found I would go to Savers and buy every book on the paranormal I could, because this is how I am, like about every book on the paranormal I could find to read about people's ideas about what this is. And it started this kind of obsession for answers, but we never investigated it for like maybe a couple of years after we left that house, probably 2017. Like I just read and read, and read and like I'm the type of guy like I don't want to go do something unless I kind of know what I'm doing a little bit. Because it is dangerous. It is a little dangerous. Not that again, not that I'm scared about it, but I don't know. I was just obsessed with trying to see what other people thought about it, personally, like what their ideas were. So.
And how about the house that you guys stay at now? I mean, that place sounded terrifying, not for nothing. So I hope this place is a little different.
It's a different type of haunting. There's more spirits here. I don't know if some are attached to the land.
Well, we made some mistakes here because once we started to learn how to investigate, we opened up some doors that we probably shouldn't have. And using all of our equipment, then we opened up some more doors, and so we've got a whole.
I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I set up like 8 power plants once in like one area, and if you're talking about that type of like magnetic energy being amplified by crystals, like you could see it on the XLS. You could see like it looks like on a 90-degree, 100-degree day, the tar, like the wavy stuff. You could see it on the flare on the XLS. It was so much energy. And I think we opened something up and let in a bunch of other things that.
And the spirits will tell us. They tell us all the time, like shut that, shut that off, shut that off. They want us to shut all of our equipment off. I don't know if you guys ever deal with this, but the spirits are constantly telling us to go away. They don't want to communicate with us because they're afraid of something. They won't tell us what it is, but they're afraid of something. They think it's our equipment that's bringing it. They'll always say it's in the box that you brought. It's in the box that you brought. So we don't know.
I think that, like, honestly, like at some famous haunted locations, they're just over it. I think they're over people coming in there and messing with them. I mean, so many people can be disrespectful, or, like even like you're watching TV, like, all right, so the show with Shane and Ryan. Okay, the most disrespectful. These are dead human beings. Like most disrespectful shit I've ever seen anywhere. Like the way they treat the spirits, clowning on them, like treating them like circus freaks. Like I wouldn't talk to you either, Shane. I really wouldn't. I wouldn't talk to that dude either. The way he treats them. These are dead human beings. Like, listen, is it a form of entertainment? It can be, but I mean, let's face it. There's a bunch of different type of paranormal investigators. There's people who have experienced something who want answers. There are people who may be curious about the phenomenon their whole life. And then there's the people who just see it as like a haunted house that you go to on Halloween with people jumping out of the closet and like the 𝗥𝗲𝗹𝘁𝗶 type that screams and runs away when the activity that they asked for happens.
Yeah.
So, I think they're over it because of the third type, that when we come in and we're like, we really want to hear your story. I'd love to find out like what happened when you were alive, your time period. And you find that we get the best communication when we ask simple questions like, what was your favorite dinner? What was your favorite dessert? Like,
oh, wait.
We lost the audio.
I think we
can't hear you.
Can't hear you. Yeah.
Can you hear us?
No, I hear you guys, but I don't hear them.
Oh, yeah, I can't hear them.
They can hear us. Check to see if you're on mute. Your audio will cut. That would be crazy.
Isn't that weird how he's talking about this stuff? And I just
that's what I was thinking about.
I do want to shout out folks in the chat.
The spirits in here.
Now we can.
They never stop.
No.
You can hear us?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can. Yeah, you're back.
Oh, I was just saying that, like, I think like the best communication we get is when we ask simple questions like, what was your favorite breakfast? Did you like eggs? I love bacon? Like, and then you can start a rapport, and then it goes from there. And then, but if you start asking them right away, like, how'd you die? Did that suck? Like, was that, that's what who the hell would want to talk about that,
So you were telling them briefly about here, but can I tell, like?
So yeah. So this is you 100% right. It's a haunted school building. It was converted to apartments in 2010. It was a Catholic school for a long time. It was a business school for a long time, and then they turned it into like large apartments. I think in like 2010.
What was it built in 1882? 1882. All right. Yeah. Okay.
All right. So tell them.
So, all right. So let me just like quickly. I know that like Todd started to tell you guys we moved in here, right? And I've like always like felt things, but never like, hey, I'm like a empath or a psychic, nothing like that. Like I just feel things. Like I feel like I can sense things right before they're about to happen, but I usually keep my mouth shut. And then I kind of regret, like, I wish I had said something, because like usually what I'm thinking in my head always happens, or whatever, you know.
She's got good intuition.
It's really bizarre. And I'm always like smack myself, you know, thinking I wish I said something to Todd, because then I'd be able to show him, like, look, it's not in my head. It's not my head. But when we got here, I felt something. My daughter Julia felt something here, and she heard a knock. So this was like a couple days after we moved in, maybe. We were like just still getting our stuff in, and she heard a knock, and I was kind of joking around with her. I'm like, oh, what do you think? A ghost in here or something? And she's like, maybe. I'm like, yeah, maybe. But I felt presence of some sort. Like I can't even describe to you what I thought it was. Well, the what do you call him? What do you call John? What would you call him?
The building manager.
Okay, yeah, the building manager, right? So he came by like the next day, whatever, to fix a few things in the apartment or something, because we were getting settled in. And Todd asked him some questions.
I asked him if anybody ever died in the building, and he looked at me like, he was like, why?
So he's like, yeah, she's like, one lady did die, but it wasn't in this apartment. It was on the other floor. So we're like, oh, okay.
He did tell us though that whoever moved into the lady's apartment would move out within like 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
And people are in and out of that apartment like all the time.
So I was like, oh, well, let's do some research, you know. So at that point, we already have like some equipment, and Todd's making our equipment for us, which is kind of how it all started, right? Because he was making our equipment, and then I'm like, you're like, we should build this, and so people can use these. Like the SLS was one of the first pieces that he made, and so.
The building manager didn't know her last name. He only knew her name was Angie. So basically, I made my first like spirit box device, and that night, within like seconds, she came through, and Marissa said, "Well, what's your last name?" And I heard it. She said Ruiz, and Marissa said, "Did you say Ruiz?"
So
and she said, "Yes,
my phone,
Ruiz."
And it shows like a picture of her on her Facebook. She had a Facebook page because this wasn't too long ago. So I'm like, is this you? And you could hear it clear as day. Yes, that's me. I'm like, no way. Really? So to make a long story short, we ended up communicating with her like she was right here. Like we became best friends. Like Angie, we always refer to her like first, you know, like, hey Angie, like leave us alone, Angie. You kind of, you know, like we're able to communicate with her, and she can hear us, and we know that she has all the same things. She had all the same things that we still have, like the internet. She's used to all that. So she knows how to make.
She's good with the technology because she understands the technology. She had all that stuff, a cell phone and whatnot.
So anyhow, she ended up telling us that she had family, you know, through our conversations and stuff. And so I ended up doing the research and looking at all of her friends on her Facebook page, because her Facebook page was still active. And I ended up finding one of her sisters, who I then sent a message to on Facebook. And I'm like, hey, my name's Marissa. I just moved into this apartment in New Bedford, and you're going to think this is crazy, but I think that we've been communicating with your sister. I know that she passed away. I'm well aware of this. And so, like, I just wanted to see, now they're very, very religious and wanted nothing to do with it at all. So,
one of them,
yeah,
said
right.
that she thought she was stuck here.
Right, one of them, but the girl that I spoke to did not. But she was like kind of iffy about it. But then, like, so I scheduled the day. I'm like, well, why don't you just come over and let me just show you what I think, you know, what I think is going on, and maybe you can talk to her. And if you can, you know, I said I wouldn't do this to you. We wouldn't do this to you. So we brought her over. It was her 2 sisters and her cousin or something. And the 3 of them sat on the couch. They thought we were like totally.
They sat there like this, like
like come on.
We were messing.
Like, and so like I was trying to be like, it was a whole really awkward situation. But once they realized, like, they were sharing names and family members' names, and they realized that we weren't bullshitting them. Like, they really were talking to their sister and their cousin. You know, like there's no way that we could have put on a show like this. You know, and why would we? What would we get out of it? It was just that I wanted her to be able to communicate, because she wasn't able to say goodbye. You know, it was an overdose on heroin. It was just.
The craziest thing, though, was because there was we're talking 2023 to 2020. I think there was a 21. So what is that? Like 8 years. Her kids had grown up so much that when they said, do you want to see what, I think it was Daniel and Vivian, do you want to see what they look like now? And when the sister showed the picture, you just heard like this wail
crying. It's
come
like,
out of the spirit box because it was like almost like a.
she remembers when it was just like,
break.
you know, she had just a baby. It was just a baby when.
Well, you know that the
And so-
spirits really don't. They don't seem to have a concept of time. So to her, like to think that they've grown up.
She wants her baby back, and she doesn't understand that Jesus Christ, her daughter's driving.
I'm thinking she's been dead that long.
You know, yeah. So she doesn't get it, and it's
It was
just
crazy.
horrible. So we did stop. I mean, we didn't cut off communication because we still have to test all of our equipment that we now sell due to all of this. But other than testing the equipment, we don't communicate with her because we ended up bringing a whole lot into the house. But I do still. Well, it's been a few months now, but I still communicate with Angie's son and her daughter. I have them on my Facebook and stuff, and it's just a crazy situation that, you know, everything that came out of this, and that I'm 100% a true believer in paranormal, because it wasn't a thought up until I was almost 30 years old. And, you know, like, Todd's 50, I'm, how old am I? I don't know, 38 or something. And
She's laughing because I thought I was 50 years old for a year, and I was really 49 till my birthday. I said, "Oh, I'm turning 51 today," and she was like, "What are you talking about? You're 49." And I said, "What?" For a year, I thought I was 50.
years go by.
Happy
It's just
40th
like,
birthday twice.
I was
Crazy.
40.
Yeah, no, listen, I got a year back. It was like the best birthday gift you could ever give me. You got a year back. Here you go.
No,
so,
you want to
I
hear
mean-
something funny, and
Yeah.
I don't mean to cut you off, but just to
No,
continue
go ahead.
after. It's one thing for your wife to make me 40 for 2 years in a row.
I'm trying to get him to catch up because I'm
It's another thing when the woman that birthed you into this world
older. Yeah.
also was convinced that I was 40. So my mom was like,
Happy 40th.
wait, she's not wrong? And I'm like, yes, she's wrong. And so are you, man. Like, I came out of
That is funny, man. That is funny.
Oh, shit.
It's crazy. I was stunned. I couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it. I said, "What do you mean? I'm 49."
That's great.
God bless, though. Too much. But it's definitely a different. It's different than that. The other house was way more like you said, poltergeist type crazy stuff. Here it's weird. Like they a lot of draining of energy here. And when that happens, they'll always mess with your emotions. Like, you know, it's almost like they're taking your energy and giving you back crappy emotions. like swapping it in. Because you know what I mean? Like, you'll be like, fly off the handle for no reason at all, or feel depressed or lethargic or no motivation for no reason at all. That's like not how we are. And you can just tell it comes out of nowhere. I did see Marissa's doppelganger. I was cleaning my daughter's playroom, and I looked up and I saw Marissa walk by. I didn't see her face. I saw the same outfit she was wearing that day. Walked into, like, there's 2 bathrooms in the house. I walked into my daughter's bathroom, and like 5 minutes later, I walked in there to say something to her, and nobody's in there. I said, "What the hell?" I turned around and way down the hallway, I could see her in our bedroom, like making the bed, and I was like, "Yo, what were you just in the bathroom?" And she said, "No, I've been down here for like 30 minutes." So whatever I saw, listen, clear as day, it was not her. It was not her. So some weird things like that have happened.
wait, I told God. I just mean to cut you off.
Go ahead.
No, the most important thing is the most important thing about actually building the equipment and being able to communicate with the spirit Angie that lives here with us is that she's always willing to help us, which has been really fantastic and really helpful with the equipment. Like, we can always test devices here, and Angie was able to help you with, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh yeah, like when I was experimenting. with
Yeah.
things. Like when
we
I
did,
first
like when
I first built the power plant, I would ask her, like, is this giving you energy? Does this work? I tried different crystals, different things with the power plant spirit energy device, and she did kind of help me dial it in.
So
And we recently, like the real mini portal that we make and the real portal are pretty much like spot on, like the original. Like you're buying an original, just like if you were buying it from dude there. But I created our own called In Between box with an upgraded speaker. It's like the next generation of that same reverb, but so it's got more adjustments. But you still have to computer program it, and she helped me dial it in over like the course of a year. Like I communicated with her, and I was like, "Does this help you communicate better? This much reverb?" Like, because reverb, you have the decay, which is how long the echo goes on for. You have the strength of the effect, and then you have like the volume of it, kind of like the intensity of it. And I was constantly like working with her, like trying to figure out what the best settings to, because when I tell you there's like 30 settings, and each setting has not just like a 0 to 30, it's like a 0 to -30 and a 0 to 30 setting. So I was tweaking it, and then I would talk to her, see how she sounded, seeing how, if she thought it was easier to come through. It was crazy. But the device came out spectacular, and actually, thanks, Angie.
Do you have it? Do you have it near you? Can you show? Is it
in between box? I don't have one made. I do have. I just made a real mini portal for a customer. We're so busy, like everything's like almost like made to order, but I make them in like a day or two.
Yeah, that's awesome.
There's no way for me to make. We're up to like, I think 22 or 23 products now. So,
But if you guys have time, we'd love to turn it on and test it out and see if.
yeah, we can do a demo with the
Yeah.
real mini portal. I brought up our SLS, our XLS.
We have to log off in the next 15 minutes. I'm interested in seeing your empath, though. You told us.
You want to see the empath?
Yes, please.
Okay, so
This is
this
a brand
device,
new equipment.
yep.
Ooh, yeah, this is an exclusive for y'all.
It hasn't
So for
even
years, people have been asking us, do you make an Ovilus? Do you have an Ovilus? Make an Ovilus. And I
Happy about
didn't.
you guys having that.
I didn't. So this is called the empath. Now, it's 5 in 5. It does 5 different things. Okay. So rather than, give me the piece of paper over there. So rather than your regular Ovilus where you just kind of turn on it and talk, there's different ways that you communicate, and they can give you answers like, let's say you ask something and it's close to what they want to give you for a response, but not quite. They could say like somewhat disagree, somewhat agree, that sort of thing.
Okay.
So you can get like partial answers if it's not exactly what they want. Because think about it, if you ask them a question and it was close but not exact, they may just tell you no.
Yeah.
So, but this, you can kind of dial it in. So you can set it to how are you? So you can get questions like how are you doing? Do you like being here? That sort of thing. You can set it to tell me something about yourself, like we were talking about. What type of food did you like? What type of job did you have? You can ask questions too, like did you work here? Whatever it is. Then it's is there anything I should know? Like if they want to give you a message or just tell you something like that they just want to tell us without us asking them. Okay. And you can ask closed answers like yes or no type questions, like almost like a flashlight technique, only through the device. And you can set it to where they can pick one of those things that they want to use themselves because they have something they want to tell you, and maybe we've already gone past how are you or something, and they want to tell something. They can tune the device back to that and communicate. And then if there's no communication for like a minute or two, it'll reset itself and allow them to pick a different thing they want to do. Almost like an Ovilus would work, where they can just tell you whatever they want. Okay. And then the device uses EMF, magnetic energy polarity. So like the north and south polarities of magnetic energy fields. We found that there's a lot of, I don't think if it's even manipulation of that, but the polarity of the magnetic energy field seems to change a lot during times when paranormal activity is occurring. Barometric air pressure. Not something that a lot of people talk about, something that I am really high on. I think it's really important when extreme activity occurs. Barometric air pressure seems to go through the roof. Now, an example of this was we did a house case once, and it was this single mother with like 3 kids, and they were getting like beat on by something there, and the activity was intense. And I cleansed the house, so we lit up sage, and I started provoking because I was angry because they were messing with kids. And I was like, I don't give an F where you go, but you're going to leave now, blah, blah, blah. I use a lot of prayer. We are Christian. It's okay if other people aren't. That's just the way we roll. And I was monitoring the barometric air pressure, and it went through the freaking roof. Like, and it didn't move the whole time we were there. And all of a sudden it was like, think of like a little spike, and all of a sudden it was like, so I really started looking into it, and every time there's extreme, like if you do religious provocation, whatever it is, or just extreme activity occurs, barometric air pressure will change. So the device also allows them to manipulate that. And then EMF as well. So the fifth thing that it does that's really cool is if you don't want to so much hear it talking and communicating with you, I'm going to turn it on real quick. Did you put batteries in here? So this is when it's like, it's doing its, what's the word I'm looking for? Calibration. Yes, hey. It will monitor those four things for you. So air pressure, temperature, magnetic energy, and EMF. It's got a little screen I'll show you in a second. And if any of those things hits,
Select mode.
it will light up the color, like a temperature drop. It will turn blue and it will go off with a tone for that. And it shows you on the screen which one it is. Okay, so that's, I don't know if people can see it. That is the screen where it's just monitoring.
Okay.
Okay. And then if you want to change it to something else, there's 3 buttons. You can turn the volume up and down. If you want to turn down the alerts, it's got visual and audible alerts, or the voice or whatever it is. And it also, you just click the middle button and it allows you to change through those settings.
Oh, got it.
Thanks, Spotted.
And
How are you?
How are you? Whatever.
patenting this stuff so that way fucking, excuse my name, but ghost hunters and nobody doesn't try to snatch it?
What's that?
Do you patent your equipment that way nobody tries to take it?
I've thought of like patenting some of this stuff. I haven't. I mean, if somebody's gonna do it, they're gonna do it anyway and put it on Etsy. Oh, it said her.
Yeah.
Said her. I don't know why.
There's another paranormal builder on the chat right now. Spotted Ghost. People I know recognize him.
So it said her, and then if you notice, it flashed orange, which means that the air pressure went down for whatever reason. So it manipulated the air pressure in order to use that word.
Wow.
So it's going to tell you what it manipulated, so you know. See, that's air pressure again, and it said deserted. You were hurt because we deserted you. We stopped investigating. They listen to us all the time here. Like,
Yeah.
you know what's bizarre too is if we have on like a paranormal show, like Paranormal Caught on Camera, they'll duplicate what's going on sometimes. Like Paranormal Caught on Camera, I swear to God, there was this guy, his fridge was opening up in his house, and the fridge flew open in our house and slammed into the door. Like I'm talking like violently flew open.
Oh my God. That is wild.
So that's so what did I just say? It said, look, so hurt, deserted, forsaken, kind of all on the same thing that, and the air pressure went back up. So the house is sealed. There's no, the doors aren't open here or anything. The key with air pressure is for air pressure to be legit, you got to be kind of in a room that's closed off. If you're opening, or a house that's closed off, at least. If you open up the outside door, like you're not going to use air pressure outside.
Oh, it's not a whisper. It only sounds like a whisper because, I mean, because you guys are in the room, but it's talking at a pretty.
So, do you recommend using that outside? Is that something you use?
You can, because it's still, you can still use EM. They can manipulate DMF. They can manipulate the magnetic energy fields.
Okay.
If the temperature was constant, they could manipulate that. It's just air pressure is it's important to kind of have a sealed area. It said annoyed. Now it's pissed.
Well,
Is it annoyed with my question?
It's reading the word on there.
Yeah, so the device talks. It does talk, and it's pretty loud. It's just it's hard to hear it through the phone right now that we're using to communicate. And the voice is clear. Like I have another device.
Well, wait, stop talking so you can.
I have another device that I use, and you can't hear the voice at all. You never understand what it's saying.
Are you able to plug that
in?
What's that?
Are you able to plug that into a speaker?
An
like
external
speaker? External speaker?
No, you wouldn't have to. Trust me. If you were here right now, you'd be able to hear it. You'd be able to hear it. It's rechargeable too. We have rechargeable.
Right. And it goes from top to bottom or bottom to top as far as like the newest entry of the words.
Oh, it looks like it's top to bottom. So so the top word is the newest word.
Newest word, yeah.
Yeah, and you can scroll through the words too. It keeps a history.
Oh, nice.
So you can scroll back if you missed it or whatever.
Yes.
You've got yourself a buy already. I'm going to be releasing it tomorrow on all 3 of our shops: the Etsy shop, the eBay shop, and relativelyparanormal.com. So it'll be up. If you're familiar with us at all, we do videos where we give information like this. We do a demo, and then we always give you 5 to 10 minutes of our evidence of us investigating, because we're investigators like everybody else. And I know a lot of people say that, but you know, I don't see those folks out there actually investigating. We show us out there and the evidence we capture using the device that we're selling. So, on our YouTube channel, the Relatively Paranormal Equipment YouTube channel, and the relativelyparanormal.com website, all of our product videos on there, and I think we're up to like 82 or something.
Also, Spanish dictionary.
So I hadn't made a it does not have a Spanish dictionary. I could look into that in the future.
The person who asked that, they live in El Salvador. That's why they're asking that.
Yeah, we sell a lot of like we've sold a lot of portals down in South America, and people ask us a lot, like, does that speak Spanish? I say, well, use a spirit box or an app with it, so it'll speak whatever the spirits want to talk to you. They're manipulating that device to speak to you, so whatever language they speak.
Yeah.
Said energetic now. So obviously I'm not talking to the spirit, it's just throwing out stuff, but you know, that's how this device works.
How many pre-built-in words are there?
Like 4,000.
4,000.
4,000 words in the word bank. Yeah.
Nice.
It's just
the person that lives in the other country, they can use their phone as like a translator.
Yeah, absolutely.
The person who lives in the other country could use their phone as a translator.
Yeah, but it'd be nice to have like another.
I mean, temporarily till he updates.
Our website you can use just about any language you speak. You can change our website to that language. And all the time I get messages in a different language, and I'll put it into the translator, and I don't even have to know the language; it'll spit it out.
Do you want to say how much you're selling those for, or do you?
It's gonna be $199. $199.
That's not bad. Yeah.
So you got the 𝗟𝗏𝗘 at what, $600, $599, $499,
$199, not $1.
With that,
I said $199, like $199.
Yes,
I like the Dollar Tree 125.
No,
$200.
$199, which trust me, I dare you.
On our website, especially, I told you guys earlier, we have what's called the Paracash Loyalty Rewards Program. You get a point for every dollar you spend, and then you can use that points towards rewards. You can save up to 20% off an entire order. You can use the rewards for free shipping, 10% off, 15% off, or 20% off. Whatever you don't use rolls over. And then, of course, you're buying something different, so you're getting more points there. You should really be saving money every time you shop with us. Nice. If you like, some people are more comfortable on Etsy and eBay. We don't care where you buy from. We just if you go to the website, it's the only place I can do a loyalty program. It's just something that I can program into the website. I can't do it on the other ones. If somebody did do business on one of those, they want to switch over, I'll give you the points for what you bought somewhere else. So people, if you bought on eBay, it's just I can't give you the points to use on eBay or Etsy. You have to use them on the website.
So if somebody purchased it, what is the build time? If you have to.
Oh, these are ready to go.
Yeah, we already have a bunch.
We have a bunch. These, as soon as Todd puts them up on the site.
I just spent like 4,000 in parts this week to have everything ready for Black Friday and Christmas. So
yeah, we normally ship all of our equipment out within a day or two.
You know, when I got the XLS, it was built to order and it was gone. It was already out within the third day. It was already, like, I got it so fast. Honestly, that's the first time I was like, damn, we got it already.
No, guys.
Because of the state. I mean, from being from Massachusetts, I was just like shocked at that alone. Yeah.
When we have a guest on our show, one of the four of us vouch for whoever we're bringing on.
Yeah.
And whenever, especially when we buy something, like we've purchased an XLS through Todd and Marissa, and we're telling you that piece of equipment is phenomenal. But not only just a piece of equipment, we were stuck on some type of a setting or something. We were able to get in contact with Todd, and he responded super quick,
and the tutorial was great on alone. Yeah,
I challenge you to find somebody out there that's customer service wise is impeccable like these two. Okay. And we used our XLS on an investigation when we went to go and investigate at the Telemundo studios, the TV studios. And just to make a long story short, we ended up communicating with a former producer of that channel. He had passed away, and right when we were getting on the spirit box and on EVPs the person's name, we also had the XLS on the studio where we were filming at, and it just so happened that spirit was climbing onto the wall. We got it on the XLS. There was multiple spirits, but there was one in particular that was climbing on the wall that caught our attention. It stopped on the letter A, and it remained there for what was approximately about 8 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, it was there for like
That's insane. Yeah, that's crazy.
A, like to like confirm like his name, like it was that guy, because we were like,
his name started with an A.
Yeah, his name started with an A.
So you were getting a lot of corroborating evidence, which is the best.
It was
the
crazy.
best.
When
best.
multiple pieces
never
of
seen that.
equipment confirmed the same thing, that's when we felt comfortable in telling that channel.
And they were there watching, but we were just like, yeah, this is
who we were speaking to. We got confirmation on 3 different devices in response to that.
That's awesome. Yeah. And when they're all different types of technology too, it's amazing.
Right.
You know, absolutely amazing. You know, we had something up here in the GS2 laser thermal grid. We used to sell an ultrasonic motion detector. We don't anymore, but we used to, and it was like moving in different distances through sound waves. That's how it was picking up the object. And then I hit it with the SLS, and boom, there the thing was in the same spot that those 2 devices were picking it up. Yeah. And like, to me, like, I'm like, that's when I'm like, I think I was screaming and yelling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I made a cool video out of it because it was so awesome. I used it in an SLS video, because it was just, for those people who say, oh, SLS isn't real, it's fake. Yeah, can it catch false positives? Yeah, but if you know how to use it, and we give you a tutorial, not just on how to turn it on, not just how to do the recorder, we teach you how to map, how to recognize a false positive, how to troubleshoot, how to do so many different things. Like anything I've learned about those devices since 2020, you know, I've been building them. I tell you about in the tutorial, you know. So then if you have a question outside that, yeah, I usually answer as soon as I see it. If my phone's usually around, I'll hit you right back. So like I said, we're investigators too. So we ship fast because we know what it's like to buy a new piece of equipment, want it for a particular investigation, and then like have to wait 3 weeks for it, or get ignored, or whatever it is. We've all been there. You know, the guy, what's his name? Paranology's guy. I had to like sue him through PayPal to get my money back. Like 8 months went by, and it was excuse after excuse after. It wasn't even that big a deal. It was like something that was like a couple $100.
We bought,
you know.
Yeah, I bought something from him, and it was.
That's probably when. That was probably when
he was coming back. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was coming back. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw his video. Yeah, when he said, "Well, I'm gonna do the old orders and the repairs, and I have a new guy's gonna do." You know, I said, I was watching. I said, I got an idea. How about you fill the orders for the people who bought a year ago, and finish your repairs, and then sell new equipment? Because when he was putting me off, he said, "Well, I sold that 𝗿𝗏 thing that's on Ghost Avengers. I sold 500 of those." And yes, we do make our own software. It's image correction as well. So the mirror image, we flipped it so it's the right way. It's like, so it's like looking through a regular full spectrum, a night vision camera, whatever. It's the right way. So because so many times we blew evidence because we would get excited and turn the SLS the wrong way and kill the stick figure, like wipe it out.
And we also
it's very confusing when
into audio recording.
Yeah, I'm working on the XLS. It's a different beast. It's a different animal. So it's going to take me a while, but we do have our own software. And like Marissa said, it's got a built-in screen recorder, and we recently added the audio part to it. So now you can line it with your videos better because you have the audio as well.
That's good, because then you have to like try to catch it while you're watching the video and then look at your audio.
Yeah,
it's a nightmare. Yeah, it's a nightmare. So we recently added the audio, and even the setup is different. Like I spend 2 hours setting up the tablet alone. I streamline it. I don't want anything interfering with the 3D mapping. Like the first thing in the instructions says, this is for the SLS and the SLS only. Don't web surf with it. Don't Don't do anything but use it for this. Just think of it as this device only, and you'll be fine. And you'll be fine. You know, and that's why we put the tutorial. The tutorial on the XLS is now like 25 minutes long.
Every single time somebody has a question, the answer gets added to the tutorial for the next
Good.
person.
If it's not in there already,
Yeah,
I have it.
that's actually
And,
awesome.
you know, so before you go, I do have 2 other new devices that we just launched that I can show you.
Yes, wait. I got to jump off in a couple minutes, but yes, I would love to see what you got.
This is a 2-in-1. It does the barometric air pressure that I spoke of and temperature at the same time. It's just one of those deals where you put it down. It's got a different color light for like hot spot or cold spot, pressure up or pressure down, and it's got a different sound for each one as well. Originally, it was just an air pressure device, and we had a separate one for temperature. And the air pressure, I'm telling you, when the activity's extreme, this thing will pop off like beep, beep, beep. And we noticed temperature was going off a lot, like cold spots at the same time. So we added them together as one device. So they used to be $70 a piece, and now it's $90 to get both in one. So you don't have to carry 2 pieces of equipment now. You get the same notifications. It's doing the same thing in one device, and you're only paying $20 more.
Nice.
So, and it's amazing. And then this we brought back. I hadn't made it for a while. The vibration detector, basically a geophone, super sensitive. You just basically set it, and you can put it down. It's got like an isolated vibration chamber in it. It's very sensitive, but I'll show it right here. You can see it's purple, and it's, hold on, where's it? There it is. Can I turn the finger? I keep trying to hold it. Okay, so there you go. Okay, so look, all this do is just. So you can actually communicate with spirits by saying, you know, 1 tap for yes, 2 taps for no. So you could just, like, it'll keep making the noise. It's hard to hear the
I
noise.
start to see the color too.
It makes the noise, but hold on, I'll show you. So it's for taps, bangs, and knocks, footsteps. I'll do a very light tap here on the table over here.
Oh.
Can you hear it?
Can't.
Can you hear it going off? Can you hear that noise? It's not. I'll let it go until it shuts off. It resets itself, like recalibrates itself. So, like way over here, and then I'll tap my foot in a second as soon as it shuts off. So.
Oh, wow. It's
And I can go to the other side of the room, and it's still it would go off like 10, 15 feet away, 20 feet. So let's say a client tells you, hey, there's footsteps on my staircase all the time. Put this over there, put a static camera on it, and see what happens. Well, like I said, you can use it to communicate. It's very sensitive. It doesn't take hardly anything.
Are you on a slab? Are you on a slab right now, like a concrete slab, your floor, or is that like a?
No, it's just on my table. It's on my table.
No, when you stomped your foot, like is your floor?
No. I'm in the kitchen. So let me see.
So you have a crawl space underneath your house?
I shut it off. I'm tapping my foot. I shut the thing off.
Do you think it would work on a concrete floor, like in California?
Hell yeah. It's super sensitive. Yeah, anything. Grass, you can bring it outside, anything. Listen, it doesn't even have to be on like a level surface. No. When I say this thing's isolated, like the thing's like hanging kind of in the middle of it. Like don't shake it like a soda can, or you may break it. But if you treat it like a valuable piece of equipment, take care of it, which is what we tell everybody to do. You don't even have to be on a level surface. You don't, so you could have it like tilted, and it's still going to work.
Yeah,
it's still going to work. It's like these are all extremely high quality. They're all rechargeable, so you don't have to spend extra money on batteries. We try to make everything rechargeable, and
we send them with rechargeable batteries. So
rechargeable batteries.
Oh yeah.
So the rechargeable battery will last all night, easy. Problem. So this was a very popular one.
That's cool.
Last year.
I like that. Yeah, I like that a lot.
Actually, it's a dope device. Not a lot of people make a geophone. I think the big company has it. It's like $200. It's got a little thing that goes up and down.
Yeah.
That's not worth $100 to me. I mean, no more than that. This is only $69.99. There's the $200.
Not bad at all. Yeah.
The little thing that goes up and down ain't worth $130.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to check out your website, and I'm gonna have to make my Christmas list. My kids and Joey are the ones that I have to ask for, like,
Only if Joy behaves good this year. If not,
Right. Otherwise, I have to get it myself.
cold, girl, cold.
If they don't get it, I'm just gonna get it myself.
And I actually made recently, and I don't know if I'm going to sell it, but so the real portal that we sell is like I said, it's identical to the original portal, except I put a light bar on it and a nice rechargeable battery. I put better plugs on it and whatnot, but they actually make the same company that I use. None of the equipment, none of the parts are made anymore, except for the battery and the cords. They're the only things I can get new. Everything else I have to go find pre-owned, right?
Right.
So they make a larger version of this speaker. So the real portal, I think, is like 40 watts. The speaker, it's not hugely larger, but it's 200 watts. So, and I also put the next generation reverb on it, because I actually put some of my own, like I created my own reverb sounds and put 3 of my own creations in there that I dialed in with the Spirit here with Angie.
Yeah.
And because it's got presets in it, but I put in 3 of my own into it. And I just thought it might be great for somebody who does like a lot of events or something, and maybe people can't hear that well, because it's a banger. It's like somebody plays like metal guitar and like electric guitar in a small club type of thing. But it's probably like I can go get it. Go grab it. The battery's huge on it. It's got a flashlight too. I don't know if I might add the light bar too. It's massive. I don't know. I just don't know if there'd be any interest in it. Obviously, it'd be expensive, but
Yeah.
But if somebody does shows or events.
Well, you never know if you just make it to order.
Yeah, no, I already have one made. So, but it's insane. I mean, I'll put it next to the mini portal, and you'll see the difference.
Yeah.
So this is it. I might look a little monster. So, I mean, that's how. Hold on, that's how big it is.
One,
I mean, it's a banger. It's a banger. Where's the mini portal? Let me see.
It's like one of those old school space heaters that my grandma used to have.
Oh, where is it? Here we go. So there's the mini portal. Hold on. What?
Here, let me do this.
You do it. I'm terrible at it.
No, his songs.
So there you can see the difference, right? So it's not like I know it's not retarded. Like you can carry it around. It's not like huge, but it's big. It's 200 watts though. Like this is like 2 watts. This is 200 watts. Like there's
Does
a
it come
difference.
with the SB7?
No,
No, you gotta.
none of them come with the boxes. Yeah, I mean, some people want the SB7 Pro, the SB11. I use Katie Stafford's ink box. I think it's incredible. Nice piece of equipment. He did a great job with it, and it seems to work better than I have the SB7 Pro, and I think his ink box works better.
Yeah.
I actually regretted buying the SB7 Pro after I was interested in the frequency aspect of it. How you can add in frequencies.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it just hasn't done much for me yet. But
We got to log off, but I just want to say bye really quick. Bye, everybody in the chat.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here.
We're still
it's
gonna
been a
be here.
pleasure talking to you.
Yeah, stay on.
Stay on.
I'll rewatch after this
The
point.
show goes on.
We're still going. We just gotta separate.
What?
Don't leave.
Yeah, we're separated from the chat.
Oh, I know.
Joy said, excuse me. We gotta separate. Bye, girl.
It was nice meeting you guys. I'm gonna check your-
Pleasure talking to you. It's fun.
Guys, and remember, call me later.
Yes. And I will definitely be checking out your website.
Just
making
for
a
the
list.
big
Yeah,
portal.
sure.
Anytime. Listen, direct message us with any questions you have. Just say, hey, it's Joy and Joey. Just let me know. And that way I know who I'm talking to, because we get a lot of messages every day from.
I think we're JJ Paranormal. I think we follow each other, if I'm not mistaken, on Instagram.
Probably. If you go on the website and you go to the Paracast page and sign up, you get $50 free just to sign up. It's free to sign up. The program's free. So sign up before you buy something. This is our daughter, Julia. Say hi.
Hey.
Hello.
Yes,
She's a little
I know.
shy.
Yeah.
She always in
She's
the
in
video.
some of the commercials, though. She's in some of the ads.
Yes,
All right, guys. Good night. Thank you, everybody in the
Good
chat.
night.
Good night. Happy. Wait, we'll
Oh.
be on Thanksgiving, right?
That's her new kitten. Yeah.
No.
This week.
Oh yeah. Happy
I'll
Thanksgiving,
get the kitten
everybody.
out of there. Yeah, you too. Happy holidays.
All right.
Okay.
Bye. Okay.
All right.
Hold on. There she goes. Yeah, she's gonna investigate a theater that's actually going to be demolished
soon. Yeah.
next month. So they're trying to get in there. It's
Do you
very.
ever think about like what the spirits must go through when you take that away from them?
It sucks.
Because a lot of them, like especially if it looks a lot like it did when they were there, I think a lot that can kind of hold them there or make it more comfortable, whatever you want to call it. And then when it's just gone and they're just there on the land, you think they're pissed, and then something else gets built there, and they're just jumping right into that spot and wreaking havoc. Yeah, there's an old state hospital right near where my daughter plays softball. It's still there. It's pretty wrecked and ruined. They won't let us in there. We've said we'll sign a waiver if we die, whatever. We fall through 5 ceilings, we won't sue you, whatever. They won't let us in. But there's got to be hundreds to thousands of spirits in there. It was tuberculosis, mental illness, retirement home too at some point. I don't know, but I'm just thinking, like, every time we drive by it, I'm like, what's going to happen when they tear that down? Because they've been talking about tearing it down to build Stop and Shop at one point, turning it into apartments. Like,
Yeah.
like, how pissed would they? Like, I'm trying to think of for myself. I'd be pissed enough if I was stuck on this plane of existence afterwards, and then to have that taken away, your only comfortable spot. I don't know.
And a lot of we get too is the spirits go say like they never even were even related to the location itself, and they just maybe they like a school or they like a theater or whatever, and they gravitated towards there or something, and then it's kind of like you take that away from them,
Yeah,
exactly. And I'll tell you, one of the craziest things about having Angie like as our resident spirit is, if you think about all the investigations, it probably takes you most of the night just to find out who you're talking to and what, how long they've been there. Like, did you see your body after you died? Like, whatever. Ask a few questions. It's time to go. We spent like literally years asking her every question I've ever wanted to ask. Is that orb that fly? Is that you? Is that how you travel? Can you see the other spirits around you? What do they look like? Can you leave the building? Well, she said, yes. Why don't you? I'm afraid to. Do you see the sun rise and set? Do you notice the we asked every freaking question we could think of.
That, yes, that is her going in orb form. We've asked her, can you fly across the room right now so we can see she's going right? We've seen it on the camera. Like, yes, that's me. They can be in multiple orbs, which is bizarre, but like one spirit can have multiple orbs.
We did a video here once where I stood in the middle of the room like a scarecrow, and Marissa called out body parts, and the orb would appear and then fly over that body.
Like, all right, go over his left arm, go over his right arm, go over
his head.
And right on point.
It was crazy.
That's pretty awesome.
It was crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. So we've done a lot of cool experiments. She's helped us out a lot.
Oh, tremendously. Like, added to our
questions and with the equipment, and
because I think a lot of spirits lie to us too when we're out at places.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we know they do.
When you go to a place and you get your little tour, which we don't even want, we avoid the tour, because if we take it and they tell us like 3 names, we're gonna spend the whole night calling out those names. And maybe there's 99 other spirits there that are being ignored every night because they know 3 names. Like Rolling Hills, we went there and the lady told us about Roy, the 8-foot tall guy there. Raymond in the basement likes to attack people, and I did get attacked in the basement there. And there was like the nurse Emma. We spent the whole night calling out those names, and like halfway through the night, I'm like, it's probably other spirits here. Maybe we should see if somebody else will come through.
Yeah.
Because if they hear Roy every night, they're just going to come over and say they're Roy because they want to talk to you.
Exactly. That
Right?
that happened to a location here.
It's happened to us.
I know of a location here that I think that is what's going on there. And ever since we called it out, or I tell the people there now about it, that spirit is mad at me, boy. I like it. That's probably my first growl ever got growled at, was because of after that shit.
Can you blew up a spot?
Yes. And
Legit,
it was
we blew
this.
up
The
the
person
spot.
who blew up their spot after that, it was just get out of here, this and that. Like, it was mad.
Let me tell you,
Yeah.
it's like continuing on with that investigation using my DR60s. The rest of any question I would ask would be responded with screams and yells and all of that.
Just that.
Prior to that, it was normal conversations or whatever. But yeah, as soon as we discovered that, it was just screams, yells, get out of here, F yous, whatever,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Was the growl a DVP? Was it like out of the ether? Like you
No,
heard it with
it
your own
was-
ears?
it was like I was walking down the stairs. I was like, all right, I'm leaving, and like
So straight out of the ether.
they're not scaring me. I'm already walking out. It was in between me and the person behind me.
Wow.
Like, heard it. Me and this and
Oh,
one of our
What did it
friends.
sound like? Describe it for me. I'm going somewhere with this. Describe the growl. Yeah, like what? Like, did it sound mechanical? Did it sound like an animal? Did it sound like I'm going somewhere with this?
Kind of like that, like very deep, like guttural.
Because we were at a cemetery way back in the day, and we asked the spirits if they wanted help and if they wanted us to come back and pray for them or whatever. And this growl that like it was a cemetery right where I grew up. Supposedly there was like satanic activity there when I was a kid. It was very like beat up and overgrown when I was a kid, and they had fixed it up. So we went there, and we got a lot of activity. We saw a crazy blue orb twice there, which was bizarre. But anyway, we asked them if they wanted help, and this growl came out of like the ether, like right next to us. That sounded like almost like a wildcat, but if it was put through a mechanical filter, it was bizarre. It was the most bizarre thing I've ever heard.
I have a question. Well, what do you think about that?
What?
Like
What the growl was?
No, like the way it sounded like mechanical. Because I've had stuff that sounds mechanical, and I've been wondering about that myself.
I think it's demonic.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
It's inhuman.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to pretend to be something. Like when they come through spirit boxes, you can always tell their voice has a metallic like flavor to it. And it always sounds like fake, like something trying to imitate something else.
Something trying to imitate a human.
Correct.
And it's not, they can't speak like us because.
And then sometimes you'll have a ghost trying to pretend to be a demon to scare you, and I can usually tell by the way the voice sounds. Like, yeah, you're just a spirit. Knock it off.
Yeah. That's crazy.
It's crazy. DVPs are probably one of the most impressive things that can happen to an investigator, because to have something come out of the ether. We heard a woman scream once at a location, was blood curdling, sounded like Jamie Lee Curtis in the first Halloween movie type of scream, so blood curdling. We thought somebody was being murdered there. It was an outdoor location. Nobody was there. Like, I'm searching the bushes, trying to help somebody, like everywhere. And then in the recording, you could hardly hear it. And it was like blood curdling, like so loud. It actually startled me. I was like, what's that? And I thought somebody needed help, and nobody was there. Nobody was there. Nobody. Crazy.
Yeah.
So when
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say. So when that happens, it's one of the I find most impressive things.
So what would you say is your scariest moments ever investigating? Since we're on that topic, I wanted to know. I know you guys been to a lot of locations.
We've lived in a haunted. Like, think about it, this place we've been here since 2020. The first place we lived in for like almost 4 years. It's not so much that we get like more excited than like scared. Like I don't find it like for me it's thrilling. Like if I saw an apparition, like, and I'm not trying to sound tough, like I'd chase the apparition. Like when I see something like crazy, the first thing I say to myself is, like that's. But as far as like previous location. Like maybe one of the prisons that we went to the Burlington County Jail in Mount Holly, New Jersey. And the place, it's from 1801. They executed people there. They have a gallows out in the courtyard, and we captured some of the most insane like evidence there. I went up on the gallows even though I wasn't supposed to, and we went outside just to take a break. We didn't bring any equipment, nothing, just a camera. We set a full spectrum camera. And I'm reviewing the video and I almost had a heart attack. There's this shadow thing on my back in the video. And then it raises up and pukes this like pink stuff all over me. And it forms like a face that looks like E.T. the extraterrestrial, like really bizarre. And then I turn to walk down the steps and that thing goes away. But then when you see my face, I had black eyes. I wasn't wearing a hat, but I had like an old prison guard's hat on, like a black, like ball cap almost. And it was not my face. It was not my face, like coming down the steps.
Wow.
If you go to that investigation, there's a playlist. Wickedly Haunted is a show that Marissa and I've done for years. And all we do is we share our evidence clips from a place. like 10 minutes of evidence, and then we'll talk like this for 5 minutes about what we showed you, the equipment we used to capture it, whatever, what the experience there was like, and then we show you 10 more minutes of it. I put it in we did 3 videos there, an hour long, full of probably 30 to 40 minutes worth of evidence in each video. Like, the place was just nuts. It was nuts. And a ghost there pissed me off because it said it was going to, like, rape Marissa or something. So I said, yeah, I threw like 10, like every power plant I had, I threw into one little room where the ghost was. And I said, deal with that now. And we went out, that's when we went outside. And like, I was like, something's going to open up and hopefully 𝗟𝗏 is down in it. But
that's scary. Like, oh my God.
I'll tell it. Has anybody told you look like Robert or not? I don't think so.
No.
When mentioning Wickedly Haunted, we did catch the episode from a spot that, well, there's actually several spots that you've been to that we've been wanting to go to for the longest. So we checked out the Wildwood Sanitarium, and
That's crazy.
The amount of EVPs that you guys were getting in your cameras was impressive. First of all,
EVPs, like, let me tell you something. The whole time we were there, footsteps, banging. We're the only people in the building. They leave you there. There's no chaperone, nothing. They just they give you the key and they leave.
Yeah, and it's just Todd and I. Everywhere we go,
We investigate together.
Like, so there's nobody else there. So anything that we get, it's like it's just wild.
The attic had no boards. It's just all wood slats, and I kept hearing walking up there all freaking night long. Wow. It was crazy, stomping around. We tried to go to bed and it continued, and I had to yell at the spirit, and I was like, I'll bring in the holy water and the sage, and it stopped. Never happened again. It was crazy. It like slammed. It sounded like a door, like in the old houses where the floor's uneven and the door grabs onto the floor, and it's like,
kind of drags.
When I said that to it, we heard boom, and I didn't know if it was a chair like dragged across the floor and hit a wall, or if it was like a door. But it was insane. It was insane. Yeah, Hinsdale House leaves you there too, guys, all night, and both places all night. $300. 7 at night till like 10 in the morning. $300. See you later. They leave you there.
Which one did you? I mean, to me, I think those are both active. But did you prefer one? I know so many stories from both. Like I can't.
Hinsdale House is so intense. It's the only place I've ever been in where like I got like it made me sick to my stomach. It like on the second floor, which was strange. It made my heart it gave me heart palpitations. Like not that I was scared. I was just sitting there. It was crazy. We captured the best XLS footage ever there, ever. I have a video in the best evidence clips and both Hinsdale House Wickedly Haunted episodes. Best XLS. We captured weird things going through the wall, like a shadow, like a beach ball that was made out of a shadow that goes through the wall, then appears in the kitchen, and then turns into something that crawls across the ceiling. A figure that was like as tall as our cooler. Our cooler was right next to it, and it was just standing there next to the cooler. That's how tall it was. And then when I walk in the room, it tries to punch me and then tries to kick me. The thing came out of our spirit box that, when the symbol of a hurricane that looks like almost like a big quote mark almost. That's what popped out of the spirit box. And then when it went into the kitchen door next to it, it blocked out the table and the chair. Like bizarre on the color 3D mapping screen only. Nothing else appeared. It didn't appear on night vision, only on that screen. So it really just strange things there. Strange things. But they're right next to each other. They're like 30 minutes away from each other.
When I go up there, I just want to hit them both because I was telling him about it's so close to my.
Yeah, but we did. We did the weekend.
We drove up to Hinsdale 8 hours. It was 8 hours. We got out of the car. We investigated till like 7 in the morning. Crashed for 2 hours. Drove to Wildwood. Had to charge our batteries back up. Had to dump all my memory cards into a hard drive. Reset up that whole place, and then investigated it again till 7 in the morning. Then drove directly home from there 8 hours. And I didn't feel drained on either drive between the locations or home. I felt great. It was bizarre. Usually I feel like a train wreck after the paranormal hangover. Usually I get that bad. I didn't feel that at all after back-to-back nights. I don't know.
I didn't.
They're different and they're incredible and absolutely do both. Do both. Let us
Do
know.
you
Maybe
guys-
we'll meet you there.
Oh man, I would love that. Do you guys do anything? Do you have any practice for like cleansing or like anything, especially maybe for your house, since you were doing like stuff for your house before?
We do. I honestly, I've come to the sad thought that I don't think that you can get rid of them with a regular cleanse. I think you can get them to leave for like maybe a couple months. What we do is we use sage. Sometimes we use Palo Santo, and sometimes we use blessed frankincense and myrrh. We'll go to the Catholic priest and have him bless it. I have a Windex bottle full of holy water. I'm not kidding. I'll go get it. It's like this big. And I cleanse, and I have
Father Bob.
we're friends with Father 𝗿𝗏𝗃𝗃. He used to be on Paranormal State, the guy with the glasses. He's kind of like bald. He lives right near us, and he came here and he did a minor rite of exorcism, and it was great for 6 months. I thought it was over, and then it came back. And is that because I'm testing equipment here, which is technically opening up a door? Probably, because you never really close the door all the way. It's always open a crack, and if you give it that little inch, it's going to take a mile. And I think that's what happened. But
Although, who's the other guy that gave us all the?
Oh, James Bishop Long.
Yeah, Bishop Long.
Bishop
Yeah, he's a really
Long.
nice. He tried to help us too. He's a nice guy,
We
but
tried going through like some huge ceremony thing with him, and
he gave us a bunch of prayers to use. So we have a bunch of prayers that we use. If we went to try to help somebody, we'd be honest with them. Like, honestly, can I make things better here? Yes. It's up to you. Like, if you stop, usually, I'm sure you've done enough house cases. Number one, you beg them to be honest with you in the beginning. Please tell us. We're not judging. We live in a haunted house even. Like, just tell us. And the longer you're during the investigation, when they're there in the background, more comes out. And then more comes out. Oh, well, but then I tried necrophonica because I wanted to talk to him, and more comes out. And it comes out now. So, like, we tell them, like, listen, if you stop messing with them, yeah, maybe it'll stop. And there's a clear difference between when the cleanse is over.
I just thought of something. Angie did tell us that the sage.
It hurts her. Yes,
it hurts her, but it's not going to make her go away. Like, she'll go in. She always asks us, "Tell me when you're going to sage so I can get the heck out of here."
I mean,
and so she'll go in the other room or go in the hallway or whatever, but it's not going to make the spirit.
Native Americans thought sage was an energy neutralizer. If spirits are made of energy, which I think we can all pretty much agree, they're pretty much made of pure energy. It's going to neutralize their essence, right? Which makes them go away, makes them flee from it. I have a video where we did a cleanse at a client's house, and all you see, we went into this room, and the orb just came out of the closet. They were hiding in the closet. Pew, 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 pew. And then an orb comes down and like hits me in the head. Now I didn't have the camera, and I said, "Dude, I just felt like 3 claws in the back of my head. I felt like if somebody had like inch-long claws and went down across my head, and it was at the same time as the orb hit me. It was the only orb that didn't flee. So, like, obviously it bothers them to the point where they leave. And when you're done with the cleanse, we can agree it feels lighter.
Of course.
It feels much lighter.
But that might just be,
You'd have
to the stage or whatever.
It does neutralize the energy. I truly believe it does.
Right, but it's not going to keep them away.
If you did it every day, I think it would have to be like treating a disease where you have to take your medicine every day. You'd have to not investigate in your home. You'd have to use sage and whatever you believe in for prayers, whatever. Honestly, I believe it's whatever the person believes in and puts their intention into. For real.
Yeah.
Like, do I believe in Christ? Absolutely. But if you don't, and you believe in Buddha and Allah, whatever it is, and you put that intention into it, I believe it probably has the same effect.
Yeah.
It really does. I do know that when you mention Christ during investigations with negative entities, they get enraged.
Yeah.
And messed up things will start happening, and you'll start getting real nasty responses to everything. We were at the Isaac Morse house in Winchendon, Mass. And it was very negative energy, and everything was very intense. Like the REM pod would not, I had to shut it off. It wouldn't stop. And we did a prayer for a guy who had died there. He asked us to pray for him. And all of a sudden we're the only people in the building. Again, it's 2 locations you get in one night. And the chaperone was at the other place, the hell the other place called? It's the Richmond Historical Site. It's something Manton. He was over there anyway, and I heard it sounded like somebody was punching the door on the wall like as hard as they could. And believe me, I'm out there looking at the windows. I open the door, nobody's there. It sounded like when we were doing the prayer, it sounded like something was punching the wall like as hard as they could, like boom, hitting the drywall, and it sounded like it was kicking the door. It was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. It was crazy. It's crazy. Thank you for putting up the links. We appreciate it.
Yes, that's Dantex. I had a question, and then I was gonna ask because we have 2 younger kids also. So I was gonna say with your daughter, has she ever been scared? Does she like it? Is anything like has she ever freaked out? Because I
We've
think
been honest with her since the day we've been honest with her since the day she was born that we thought spirits were real. We did tell her, and it's unfortunate, but we told her that I wouldn't talk about that with kids at school because kids can be mean, and if they don't believe in ghosts, they're gonna try to torture you. I mean, our daughter is 3 or 4 months away from a junior black belt, so I'm not too worried about it. But you know, like, why put yourself through that? But either way, we told her she really doesn't. I saw her scared once. She said she was hearing noises, and our security camera did capture the noises. And I don't know if it was. I've never seen a mouse in this building, so I don't know what else it could be. It sounded like scratching in the wall. But I've never seen a mouse here, or mouse poop, or anything like that. So I don't know. It never happened again. Never happened before. So we keep it real with her. What does scare me is the possibility of something nasty perhaps following us and going after her.
Exactly.
Scares the shit out of me. So we do our best to try to pray out, and we have a little portable like fan, and we take sage and we blow it on each other before we leave. We blow out the car, we blow it all over the equipment, hoping that nothing will follow us. You know, I do think a couple things may have followed us from places, just because we've heard names, like when we were testing equipment. We were at one location, and it said it was a little boy named David that was talking to us, and then like 2 days later, I was home testing out a customer spirit box, and right out of it, it was like, this is David, and I was like, David from Enfield, and
boy, what you doing here?
yeah.
Go back.
And then Angie, the resident spirit, came through and said, yes, a boy named David followed you, and then she said he left. Like a month later, he never came through again. So,
wow, I wonder if she helps like clear stuff out. You could ask her for that.
she protects our daughter.
Yeah,
She straight up told us that. Julia told us she woke up one night, and what did she say to you, Julia? Come over here into the screen. Remember, you said she thought we were awake and we were sleeping in bed, and she came in and said, "Mommy, did you just whisper it to me?" And
I remember she said something like, "It's me."
No. She said no. She said like
she whispered something to you.
She said something like
I'm here or something, or it's me or something like that.
No.
Do you remember?
I remember, I just don't know.
I don't remember what she said. No, it was actually something like we figured it out later on. It was something like about protecting her, like help you or I'm here for you or whatever. But she straight up, nothing's ever happened to Julia here or anything like that. So I do believe that she watches over her. And we've told her, like, listen, put whatever you have. If there's something nasty here or something nasty falls, put whatever you have into protecting her. Please.
Absolutely, yeah. That's
Protect her. We have blessed crosses above all the doors and St. Michael medallions that Father Bob gave us above every single door. There's crosses around the house.
And from the Vatican. There's cross from the Vatican that your mother gave you.
Yeah, no, my mother brought me home a blessed medallion from the Vatican that I wear everywhere. I forget what's it. So, I asked her to bring me home something from the Vatican. So she was in Rome and brought it home for me last year. Some cardinal blessed it or something. I'm not sure. I hate to sound like flippant about that, but I'm just not sure. Yeah, Julia is she is our pride and joy. And so far, she's had a very she's turned into a fine young lady. Honestly, I couldn't be any more proud of her. She's a straight A student. She wins karate tournaments, works her butt off in karate class. She's a star pitcher in softball, great hitter. She's amazing at soccer. Never gives us any trouble. one of our friends stole from her in our home that we brought the kid here. And Julia, poor thing, cried her eyes out, and she couldn't understand that. Like, to her, like, it doesn't, like, stealing doesn't make sense to her.
Yeah.
You know, so like, thank you, like that. Like, couldn't ask for a better kid. Really, I couldn't.
Absolutely.
Super proud of her. So we do our best to protect her. Yeah, we do.
That's good. We do the same with our kids, and I'm, you know, the thing is, I had paranormal experiences when I was little, so it's always like, no, you're crazy, or that never happened. But so with them, I kind of tell them, like, if you ever had something happen, or anything scares you or whatever, just tell me, and I'm going to tell you either what it is, or I'm going to help. I will show you that, like, you know, I'm helping clearing it out or whatever, you know. Like, I don't want them to think that they're making it up, or, you know, how it was done to me when I was little, you know, that I suppressed that. You know, that's how I was growing up. I didn't talk about it because, you know, I don't want anybody to think I'm crazy or whatever. And, you know, I just think it's just better to be honest, you know.
Have they ever asked you anything?
Oh, yeah, yes and no. Like, I think one time something was brought. Well, a friend of mine gave me a gun that his dad used to own. This is like one example. And he was like, his dad passed away, and then he was like, here, you guys don't have a gun, you need it, and, you know, case shit's crazy. And then I was like, all right, so I bought a case for it, I had it in my closet. And then when dad got brought here, I started seeing like a male spirit here, and they saw it one time, and like it peeked in their room, and I can hear them like freak out, like scream, and I was like, what happened? They're like, there was a guy there, and he had like glasses, and I was like, what? I'm like, who the hell is that? Like, in my head, I'm like trying to figure out, like, who can that be? And he was like, it's my grandpa, and I was like, I don't think it's them. I don't know, because that never happened before until I started like connecting the dots, and then I ended up taking it out. I gave the gun back, and I was like, hey, we got to take your gun because I think your dad is hanging around here, because he has also 2 daughters, my friend, and they're like same small age or smaller age, whatever, younger. And I was like, you know, that was him. Like, he used to hunt and had all this crap. So I was like, here, never again. I was getting stuff on like equipment, like closet, get it out of here, you know, stuff like that. It was weird. And it said something specific, and I was on the way to work. And then when it said 9, and I was like, and it said closet. And it was a Glock 9. And I was like, oh, as soon as I saw that, I called him. I was on the way to work. I said, hey, get the gun. I'm calling Eddie. He's going to come pick it up. And that was the end of that.
Amazing.
You know, it's amazing because there's so much that we don't understand of it and about this phenomenon, and we'll never understand till we die. We won't. So it's like, it amazes me. Like, I'll twist my mind into pretzels trying to think of, like, how would a spirit like attach itself to an object? Like, why would they do that? Like, why are some spirits at like graveyards, some of those haunted places you could ever go? Why? Like, we try to ask them when we're there, and, you know, you get the answer, I followed my body here. I didn't want to believe I was dead, like hoping like the body was going to come out of the ground. You know, it's just, it's such a strange thing. We've experienced so many bizarre things over the years, and it's just like, I spend so much time like thinking about it. It drives me nuts because I can't put my finger on it, which is why the equipment to us is so important, to like be able to document it and like just try different things. Like, sometimes people write nasty comments on our ads, and it's like, listen, we're just trying to something different to see if that can document this better. We can get better voices, we can get better images. Like, you know, nobody's trying to rip anyone off. We're trying to build the best equipment we can.
The things that have worked for us.
Correct. If I don't use it, I don't sell it.
Right.
Period. No matter what it is. The EMF meter we sell, it's a 3-in-1 magnetic. It does magnetic, like natural energy fields. It does like your man-made energy fields, so you can kind of separate the two. And then it does ambient temperature. But we have the identical EMF meter that we've had for 5 years, and, you know, we don't charge $40 for it. The thing's never broken. We've dropped it. God only knows what's happened to the thing. It works fantastic, you know, and it's just like, that's an example of something we don't make, but we sell because it's super affordable. It does a bunch of different things that we think are important to document with evidence or communicate through. and it's long lasting because ours is 5 years old. Like, I haven't taken a new one. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have like probably 20 of them in the other room. Like, you know, so if we use it, that's what we're selling. And like I mentioned before, whatever you get is identical to what we're using. Period.
What is your? I was gonna ask you, like, for both of you individually, what is your favorite piece of equipment?
Mag light, flashlight. It is.
That's stupid.
Oh man, for investigating, but it's the power plant. I wouldn't go anywhere without it. I wouldn't go anywhere without a power plant because I believe that is the reason that the spirits will communicate with us. They need the energy, and without the energy, they're not going to.
Was that on camera when I said it before about I wouldn't go somewhere without it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Was that on the show? Maybe not. I think you mentioned it. The power plant spirit energy devices. It's 2 energy pumps working in opposite directions, creating this energy field in the middle of the device. And we have the middle of the device encrusted with quartz, amethyst, and spirit quartz crystal. We believe that they absorb the energy, they transduce it or change it somehow, they amplify it, and then release it. We've measured it with the EMF meter before. 12,000 milligauss it puts out. But it's only in an area of like a foot around it. Like, we call out to the spirits, hey, we brought this for you. Come feed off it, take as much energy you want, just please interact with us. It's made for them to come to. But the longer it's in the room, like, the more amplified the area seems to get and the more intense the activity gets. Like the longer the night goes on, the crazier things will get. Like, more intense things will happen. Things will get thrown, moved, stuff like that. So it is an amazing device. For me, it's the XLS. It's proven things like that orbs are spirits because I'm sure you've seen the solid looking orbs. Have you ever seen a face in one? Have you seen a face in one yet?
In the XLS? No, that would
on
be
the night vision screen.
Oh, I think he has. Yes. I have.
Many times. It looks like their shoulders and their neck and their head. I've seen it.
So
probably
that's
at least a dozen times.
What I saw was a gentleman we were in their room. You know, they had passed on or whatever. Myself and a paranormal investigator that's on our team. His name is Jeremy. He was next to me.
Yeah, I remember.
And what we saw was from like here up. So we saw like the shoulders, the neck, and the head of somebody like looking down is what we saw. So yeah, we saw not like I can make out like the person's facial features exactly, or like if he was frowning or smiling or whatever, but I can definitely make out a face and neck, shoulders.
Like the bust, right?
I mean, for those who aren't familiar with how the technology works, it works like LiDAR, except instead of laser beams, it's using infrared beams that are being cast out. They're hitting objects with mass and density, bouncing back to the device in like milliseconds. And then the software algorithm is creating a 3D environment. So anything in the environment. So for something to appear, it has to have mass and density. It does not have false positives. So if a basketball-sized orb appears that's casting a shadow on the wall behind it to boot, that thing had enough mass and density to both be mapped and cast a shadow. A crumb of dust, a little crumb of dust isn't going to show up this big. It's not going to map on the XLS, and it sure as hell isn't going to cast a shadow on the wall behind it. And then, like I said, sometimes we see faces in the orbs, and it's bizarre. But we did capture one time by accident at the 𝗟𝗏𝗃𝗃 mansion. I was leaving a room. I was holding it by my side. I spun around to put it on a table, and I saw this only in review. I captured a massive demonic being, call it what you want. It was about a third of the size of the ceiling. It was upside down on the ceiling, crouching like a lion, and its horns came down like 3 feet into the room. Okay. Where's your phone? Do you have the picture? So it was for like a millisecond.
Not yours.
Oh yeah, it was for like a millisecond, and then you know how all the 6 different screens map simultaneously. So I had them on the night vision screen. It wasn't there. It was on the 3D mapping screen, but you could see the shadow of it on the night vision screen on a blank ceiling. No chandelier, nothing's on the ceiling, but you can see its shadow. but it's full 3D mapped. Like as I went by it, which is bizarre. I don't know if I you talk about that might have solved me had I seen it live. You want to talk about when I asked me that might have hit me a little bit because it looks like there's like a Bigfoot sized thing on the ceiling crouching like a freaking lion, and it's got its tongue coming out of its mouth, like weird looking. I can find it in the photos probably. I know the date and everything. Go ahead. You can ask Marissa something. I'll shut up for a second.
No, so one of the things I first tried out with the XLS, because I had seen it on Ghost Adventures. That's when the first time I ever seen it. I was like, wait, when they started using the XLS back then, when kind of like nobody had it, I saw like they had orbs, like they catch like, you know, like just black balls, and I was like, damn, that's interesting because you don't get that on the SLS. And I was like, all right, so I started asking Spirit. I can see you, just come out, and you will come out as like a ball, like an orb on my screen. And sure enough, like one of our friendly spirits that we always tend to communicate with at a place that we do events at, he came out. You see like a ball comes out and then like goes into like, I don't know, like a kitchen area. And I was like, oh crap. I was like, thank you. I was like,
The big black orbs, I love those. They're pretty good. Yeah.
You never see that. That was the first time I was like, let me just try it for shits and gigs, you know?
Funny thing you mentioned Ghost Adventures because they did an episode at that location.
Oh, yeah.
That was in their first season. But yeah, became very friendly with the spirit there.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked the spirit after like a friendly rapport with them on EVP. I was like, hey, Jenny just came in. Can you say hi to her? And on EVP, hi Jenny,
said hello Jenny.
Hello Jenny. Yeah, it was like that. It wasn't hi. It was hello Jenny. And then
that's awesome.
And then during an EVP session, I told her to talk, and then that's when she's like, hey, I have this device, the XLS, and can you please show yourself? And I promise that I will show you like how you look like in the camera. So yeah, of course, Jenny was able to get him to come out on camera, and then she played it back for him, you know, because we always do that. Whatever we promise the spirit, we'll do it.
Yeah. I don't want to. So
awesome.
I did record it on my phone. I was like, look, I'm going to watch it back. So if you can see the phone, you know, it sounds crazy, but I just treat them like,
like
know,
if they're one of us.
So here, I'm going to put it up to the camera, right?
Turn it sideways.
Wait, hold on. So that's it on the ceiling, right?
Hang on.
So you can see that if you look close, you can see the differential between the two horns.
Yeah.
You see its tongue sticking out of its mouth. Hold on, I'm going to show you. I flipped it around so people can get a better idea of it. Hold on. You don't have your auto rotate on?
I did see it.
Hold on. I'm going to auto rotate the phone. I'm going to pull it up bigger. What the hell? So this is it flipped around. So this is what it would look like if it was on the floor.
Yeah, that's exactly what I saw.
Shit. Look at that.
But if you look, do you see the tongue sticking out? And it looks like a lion crouching. So this was on the ceiling. And you can see that you see the differential between the two horns. Oh, there's a split at the very top.
Yeah.
So those are like 3 feet long. 3 feet long. This thing's massive.
Yeah.
It's massive. It's massive.
I mean, yeah. When you said density, I'm like looking at that. I'm like, that's a whole, I can't even explain.
It's 3D mapped. It's a full 3D mapped.
That's crazy.
Entity on the ceiling that looks like a freaking demon to me.
It's upside down. So like.
Yeah, no, I showed it to him what it looked like on the ceiling. Like
of that being upside down and hanging there gives me the heebie-jeebies.
But do you think he caught it while it was like phasing?
That's the ceiling right there. That's it on the ceiling. You can see there's a fan in the corner, like a stand-up fan. And there's a doorway behind it, 3 doorways behind it. And it's on the ceiling, and it's huge. It's massive. And it's creepy as hell.
Yeah, that is wild.
And there's nothing on that ceiling. There's a blank ceiling. We were there 2 months ago. And the funny thing is when we were there 2 months ago, we were talking about this thing, and I hit the ceiling with the SLS, and this thing reappeared because it was like it was huge. This huge thing appeared. I said, look, it looks like it's kneeling down again. It was the same freaking thing. I know it was, but it was on the SLS, and it appeared as a stick figure, and it was massive, and it looked like think of this thing, except it looked like it was on its hands and knees. It was bizarre. It appeared again. I know it was the same thing. I know the same thing. That was the investigation I told you about. We caught 61 legit spirit figures with the SLS.
Yeah.
61. So crazy. That place is nuts. Absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts. So what's your favorite piece of evidence that you've captured with your XLS?
Ooh, I mean,
well, so right now, I think I was really excited with the orb thing because it was on command, and I thought it was so nice that I could do that. I think, but at least for me, that last thing, because that was the most recent that we used it, was catching
the
producer who passed away, and just having everybody there on the video see that. Like, the thing is, what blew our mind is it could have been anywhere. It could have mapped out anywhere on the studio. They had like LED lettering and stuff like that. There was poles, there was columns everywhere, so it could have mapped out anything. But it decided to go on.
It crawled up from the floor to the wall.
It went up
to the letter A.
Like it went and it like stuck on the A. Like, it's so funny because it looked like so there's like an A, and it was like here, like holding on,
holding
on to the A, like,
oh
yeah,
yeah,
like, oh, wow, and it stayed like that, like, for a long time, and I'm like, and then I didn't even put that together. I was just like, what the hell? Like, why is it there? And then the guy, one of the people who knew him personally, who was there watching the whole interaction, he was like, he goes, he's right there, like on the name, his name starts with an A, and I was like, oh my God, I'm like, you're freaking right. Like, you know, it was just trying to confirm it more, and it was just crazy. I think
what's always impressed me about both devices when it comes to stick figures is how, like, it seems almost benign when you're watching it as a stick figure, but have you ever seen, like, on the one where it starts off on the floor like a mess of like lines almost, and then it's like stands up and almost like putting its body together? And I'm thinking of it like in a horror movie where the spirit's on the floor and its bones are breaking as it's standing up, and like, you know, like in that creepy vibe. Because that's what when I'm looking at the screen, I'm like, that's what it looks like to me. It looks like this thing's picking itself up off the ground and snapping its bones together or whatever. It sounds crazy, but
I feel like it's more like the energy just building up. That's how I see it. Like, I know what you're talking about, but I think it's like the energy's building up and then forming its body.
Well, either way, it's
not like
bizarre. We've seen them grow before, like, like. But we did capture once, and I hate to even mention it because I blew up my hard drive last year and lost like 6 or 7 investigations that we never even got to review. Like, it was heartbreaking. If you think, you know, the work that goes into it, even just packing up, driving there, unpacking, investing the money. We lost 6 or 7 investigations, and I think one was a house case. The rest we all paid for. It was heartbreaking. But anyway, we were at a house, and I kept seeing these figures on the SLS appear next to it looked like a bright blue oval on the wall. And I'm standing there watching this thing, and it was interacting with me. I was like, wave at me, it was waving at me. I said, let me ask you a question. I said, that thing next to you, is that a portal? And it like shook its head, like, yes. I didn't have a spirit box. I didn't have nothing to communicate with. I said, yes. I said, can you show me going into it? And this entity, like, think of like somebody climbing through a window, like went into the circle, and as soon as it hit the circle, like its body would crumple down, and then for some reason I could see it on the other side of the circle, like in the blue area, and its body would spring back up. And then I was like, can you come back in? And it would look like it was coming through a window, and its body would crumple back down and then back up in the room. And I screamed for Marissa. She came over. It did it like 4 or 5 times for us. It sounds crazy. I hate to mention it because I don't have the video because I lost it. But I would love to catch it again because it was like one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. Like, to see it, just its body like just go boom, like flatten down and then like reform. That's what it looked like to me. It was insane, right?
Yeah.
It was
crazy. You told the spirit, you're like, Marissa doesn't believe you. Can you show us her? So I walk over and I'm like, holy crap. Yeah.
And it was
going in and out of the portal, or that's what it appeared to look like, or that's what it did.
Whatever it was, it shook its head. I was like, is that a portal? And I was like, please, can you show me? and it looked like it was just like falling apart and then coming back together on the other side. It was nuts. It was nuts.
Yeah.
And then the hole closed up and it went away. It went into the thing, the hole closed and it went away. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Wow.
So
That is-
like really, really intense stuff. Like those are my favorite things. Like I love the 3D mapping. Like nothing beats it.
That's
We
cool.
We
I
all
love
want to
it.
see ghosts, right? We go there. I want to see apparitions. I want to see whatever it is. I don't care how crazy it looks. I want to see it. Please, God, show it to me. You know, Marissa captured a ghost in Burial Hill Cemetery where the pilgrims are buried. There's a legend there of a woman in white, of course, but she walks up and down this. It's like when I say this graveyard's from the 1700s, like 1600s, whatever. It's on this hill, and you have to walk up these little beat up paths, and it's like half dirt, half tar, half mess. And this woman supposedly walks up down the path, and we were there like 2 months before that, and there's a tree where they would hang their criminals. So they hung like I think 13 pilgrims there for various crimes. Like one woman stabbed her kids to death. Like if you look it up, the history's there. But so we had the spirit box, and I said, "Are you guys guilty or innocent?" And it said innocent. So at the time, I was new to investigating, so I just wanted to see something. So I provoked. I said, "You're not innocent." I said, "That's bullshit." I said, "Y'all are guilty. You got what you deserved." And this thing came out of the tree from behind it. I saw it with my own eyes. It looked like a line of a misty woman, and even though I couldn't see her features, it looked like her neck was bent and she was going up the hill, like staring at me, like pissed. And before I could say anything, she disappeared. And before I could say anything again, she reappeared and went back into the tree. I doubted that I saw this for 2 months till I begged Marissa to go back. And then we were standing in the same area, and right behind me, the freaking woman came back out. And even though it was the shittiest, like old 1080p first night vision camera we ever had, Marissa captured it. It's in the best evidence clips. It's like the White Lady of Burial Hill or something. And she freaking captured it. And it comes out right from behind me. You can see her hair, everything. It was crazy.
Yeah, that's the
It's
first
crazy.
apparition I've ever actually seen with my eyes. It's not.
So that's what we go there for. So the fact that the SLS and the XLS can produce that for us, especially the XLS that gives us orbs. Have you seen the weird mist things that change color and shape as they go across the room, and they go from light color to dark color and they change shape?
Yeah.
Crazy. What the hell is that? What the hell is that? Have you seen the orbs that look like you blow like a soapy bubble through like a straw or like a bubble thing in the summer, and looks like it's got weird stuff floating in it, the soap. Have you ever seen ones that look like that with like weird shit in them? I've captured that a few times.
I want to say yes, like it's like a bubble, maybe like in something attached to it or something.
Yeah.
It almost looks like there's like something like liquidy in it, like moving around. It's weird looking. It's only on the night vision screen. It's only what do you review? How many of the screens do you review after your investigation?
We always stick to like the
3D,
the regular 3D.
Well, I
I'm
can
sorry.
tell you that we caught, and this person is in the chat. She could bear witness to it as well. So Jenny was doing an Estes session. We were in a classroom setting, and myself and Mela from Black Smoke Paranormal, she was with me, and we had the XLS pointed directly at her, at Jenny. And what we ended up getting, she's gonna try to look it up now. But I randomly ended up catching.
That was so random.
A spirit of like a cat.
I think it was
it mapped out a cat.
That's crazy.
Or something. Like it was insane. She's gonna try to look it up.
That was weird.
Let me give you like the best tip I could ever give you with the device, right? So if you don't want to go through all the different screens, okay? For me personally, the night vision screen, because it captures other things like in like
that's it right there.
It was like walking.
Oh my god!
Yeah, do you know that in our house, there's something that the spirits call an imp, which if you look it up is like a little like demonic, like lower level demonic being that's tiny.
Yeah.
And we see it all the time as like a black, like it almost looks like a spirit cat, but it's not. It's what I'm saying is, what if this thing is like runs around on like all fours half the time. It shoots across the room. It's jet black, and we see it with our own eyes, like constantly. And I think that's the imp, because I'll think it's the cat, and I'll look over, and there's no cat there, and then I'll look, and he's asleep in the other room, like on his little perch thing.
Yeah.
And I see it all the time. It shoots by, pew. So that's what that reminds me of, that you captured it in 3D.
Oh, wow.
But the best tip I can give you is, if you don't want to go through all the screens, the night vision screen, the color 3D, and the textured screen. The textured screen especially. Okay?
Okay.
Screen record the color 3D, the one you want to watch, and screen record all 3 videos like the same like time codes, so you can match them up.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying? And what I do is, like, so if you capture something at like 10 minutes and 52 seconds, go to, like, write down all your evidence from the color 3D, and then pull up the screen recording of the night vision and just go to those time codes and see what that piece of evidence looked like on that screen.
Oh,
Okay.
I get it.
And then go to the textured screen and go to 10 minutes and 52 seconds and see what it looked like on that. And I'm telling you this because different things look different on different screens. Like on the color 3D, we captured this thing shoot out from behind our couch while I was testing somebody's XLS. And when I went to the night vision, it was like a solid looking orb that cast a shadow and shut up. When I went to the textured screen, it was a little boy with a crew cut, and you could see his face and his hands were up on my couch. And he shot up. The next frame was behind my lamp, and you could still see his crew cut. And then he transformed into like a full orb. It was like half a head and half an orb, and then just an orb at the top of the screen on the textured screen.
What?
So it looked 3 different ways on 3 different viewpoints. It's well worth it to make those 3 screen recordings: night vision, in 2D infrared, 3D color, 3D textured, and then just have them all at the same time codes, and just do the one you want to review. You like color 3D, review that, and then write down all your time codes, and then just go to those time codes in the other videos, and you will be astonished at what you're going to see. Astonished.
Man, I cannot wait to try.
Write this down.
We don't have to write it down. This is recorded. We can just go back.
It's astonishing. Like, it really is. Like, some things show up on some screens and not on the others. But usually, if something major is captured, it will appear different on all 3. And the textured screen, to me, is like really bizarre. The one that looks like foam. Everybody's made of foam rubber, and you can see like every contour of everything in the room. It's all black and white. It looks really weird, like Ripley almost. Like I've catch some weird things on that screen. So that's how I kind of do it, because I can't sit there for 3 hours where, like, if I have 2 hours of XLS footage, that would be 6 hours worth of watching.
Yeah.
But I usually watch the infrared one, and then I write down all the time codes, and then I go back to those other 2 videos and I pull the time codes. And then sometimes I make videos where I'll show it like on split screens, or sometimes I'll show it like one after the other. This is what it looked like here. Here's what it looked like color 3D. Here's what it looked like texture. If it's like a stark difference, and it's really impressive. It's impressive when you can show it different like that. It's an amazing thing. The fact that the thing there's 6 different recordings simultaneously it's mind blowing. It's mind blowing.
Yeah.
You know, and you can flip through them live. It doesn't mess up any of the recordings. You can flip through them all you want.
Okay.
So,
yeah, we've done that. We've gone through the different things, but never even thought about it like that.
But never thought of using the 3-in-1, the
Very
3-in-1 option. Okay.
Yeah, so just make 3 screen recordings of the video, and then like I said, watch the one you like and just match up the time codes and see what it looked like on the other screens. I think you'll be impressed. Trust me, I wouldn't steer you wrong.
Yeah.
I wouldn't steer you wrong.
Yeah.
Make sure you're clearing out your videos after, though. Make sure you're either moving them to a desktop and clearing off your tablet, or whatever. Just make sure you're deleting them off the tablet, because you can jam up the memory and then it won't work. So that's another big tip for you.
Yeah.
But that's in the tutorial now. So if you want, before we go, we can try to talk to Angie real quick on the mini portal.
Yeah, let's do it before we wrap up for sure.
Yeah. So let's see. Want me to use Spirit Box or the Spiritus app?
I don't know. I don't know,
You
whichever
have
one
spirits on the phone?
Yeah.
Well, if she has spirits on the phone, let's use that. So I don't have to get up and run and go get the spirit box.
Yeah.
He'll come right through. Now you may hear this like loud mechanical type pissed off voice,
Mhm.
or like a growl. That's the imp. That's the imp. If he comes through, I'll provoke him for you.
I remember you seeing that. I remember you watching your video one time, and I think it came out in your video. I don't know if you were doing a tutorial or you were showing something, and then it popped out, and you were showing it. Like it came out of somewhere. I can't remember if it was by like a TV or something like that, living room type area. I do remember that.
That entity, when we first started investigating here, said he was a guy named Terry who got run over by a horse and buggy outside the house. And then came into the school building because he thought it was a safe place. He tricked us for like a while.
Yeah, believed him.
But the weird thing was, it's everywhere we went. I don't care if
He was
it was,
there everywhere.
it would say Terry, or he would come, the voice would come out and he'd be like, it's Terry. So he was following us around for like ever. So that's when we started to be like, this ain't a human spirit. They won't follow you around like this to like different places.
So I thought he was attached to one of the spirit box things that he made. He went out and he smashed it, rolled it like 5 miles down the road, smashed it out, left it there. It's still there to this day. Like one that he built. And things still be back. Terry.
Yeah,
Terry, we get Terry again. I'm like, what the?
So
Yeah.
It was crazy.
So I'm gonna turn this on. Let's see who comes through here. Tell me if you can hear it. Where's my microphone? Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Can you hear that clearly? Okay. Is Angie here? No. Nothing? But who is this? It's the light. Did you hear that? The light?
I heard nothing. Yeah.
What about the light? It's what? Do you want me to bring the light here for you if I can?
I heard it. Sound like
He
yes.
says, what? Do you want me to bring the light here for you? No. That's her.
Oh,
This is the imp. Did you hear that? Todd, this is the imp.
yeah.
Oh my god. That's crazy.
The imp what? Imp what? Do you hear that imp? Where's the imp now? Ron? Hear that whisper? I went,
And you here with us?
where's Angie? Hi, Angie. Angie, are you okay? You better run in. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's like Marissa. Angie, we miss you. Sorry we can't talk to you that much. Angie, would you like us to bring your sisters back here? Yeah. You just did. Okay. Go through it. Angie. Oh, hold on. I can turn. Angie. Do you want us to bring your sisters back here? Angie, what's your sister's name? Melissa. Your sister's name is Melissa. She went, Melissa. Anything? They come. Want that? They come. Good. How can we help you out? Is there something we can do to help? Yes, turn it off. I didn't know. What's my name? What's my name?
And do you remember using YouTube and Facebook? Did you have?
Want to turn on my other one?
Yeah.
We go the big. Want to hear the ultimate portal? It might be what I call it, the super one.
Yeah.
So I have this set up with the rechargeable battery too, where all I do is one button that turns on both of the effects on it, so it makes it super easy to use. All right, so this is what I Frankensteined up this massive portal. All right, so let's see, let's move this away.
That yours that
We'll go get my thing, my portable battery. Right. So let me turn on this. All right. Go.
I think it's nice.
oh,
So this is essentially what our regular size real portal looks like. It's just a little bit smaller and not quite as powerful, but so 10 minutes.
I was saying that, I'm like, damn, that thing looks nice. And then
Yeah.
Miguel at the same time was like, great.
We weren't gonna pass it up down.
All right, so let's see. There we go. This is gonna probably sound significantly different. Nancy, do you stay in the apartment around us?
No, it sounded pretty clear right there.
I'll wake up. Who's been giving me nightmares lately? Who's been messing with me? Oh,
Sound like I said me.
I heard me too.
who's been messing with me? You're the laugh from the empty. Yeah. Why do you keep using that? Everybody's separate.
What'd you hear?
Oh, child.
The amp's telling all the other spirits to shut up. Why are you telling them to shut up? Why can't they talk?
No, like he said he knows.
Why can't they talk? Okay. Why can't they talk?
I think it sounds like it's saying I can't. That's what it sounds like on my end.
See if you can ask him a question through the thing. I'll turn it back up.
Huh.
Hey, listen. Give me
know
a yes. Go ahead.
Okay, go
See if you can ask him. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Do you know what holiday is coming up this week? Kind of sounds like a thing.
I heard thanks.
Thanks.
Anthony, it's November. What holiday is November?
Listen, one at a time. One at a time. What holiday do you eat turkey with? Don't want what? Don't want what? Please, I'm not leaving you. Listen, did you come through a portal in here that we opened up by accident? We did.
I did, yeah. Oh wow.
How many spirits came through the portal?
It's 16?
Here's the end. He left? Did he leave because he's a coward? The imp's a coward. I'm not afraid of him. He's a coward. Tell the imp I command he leaves in the name of Jesus Christ. Where's the coward? He's like behind me.
Oh wow.
Why isn't he doing anything? Is he weak? Is Terry? Chef, is Terry the imp?
The imp.
The imp.
We heard the imp.
Oh wow.
He left? So should I sell it? Should I sell this big thing?
Yeah, I think it's on.
Yeah, I think so. So
Tell you what, the regular portal, it sounds amazing too. It really does.
yeah.
This thing's just enormous though, but I love it.
Tell the folks where they can find you and your awesome equipment.
Okay, so our website is relativelyparanormal.com. That's the full website. We have our full ghost hunting equipment store. I believe we have like 23 or 24 products now. That's where you find our Paracash loyalty rewards program. It's also where we have a product videos page with over 80 product videos where we're going to share info, demonstrations, and most importantly, evidence clips of us using the devices. And at the same time, we have a reviews page that's linked to the website stores reviews and the Etsy stores reviews. They're all verified customers, and I believe there's like 500 or 600 reviews on there. There's also reviews attached to every equipment specific to that device. So the reviews page is all the reviews. And then if you go to each, please stop that, honey. If you go to each product, there's reviews on there with like the ratings and everything like that. And then we also have our eBay store, which is ebay.com/str/relatively paranormal equipment. We also have an additional, I think, like 400 or 500 reviews on there. And it has our full line of equipment as well. And then the Etsy store is relatively paranormal.etsy.com. There's no equipment in it, so just relatively paranormal, all one word, .etsy.com. It only has our like handmade devices like the portals. Thank you so much. We appreciate that a lot. They don't allow us to sell like the other things like the EMF meter that we don't make, we just sell. But you know, so if you like Etsy and you're an Etsy shopper, it doesn't matter to us where you shop. You can go to Etsy, eBay. But if you go to the website, you can watch all of our videos. You can read reviews from 2 shops. And most importantly, we can reward you for being loyal customers by giving back in the form of loyalty rewards, which we're more than happy to do. We appreciate. Listen, without you guys, we don't exist. We love our jobs, And like, I think I told you guys off camera, we opened the store for you guys because we were buying equipment that was subpar, overpriced, took weeks to get to us. We wanted to, and the customer service was non-existent. We wanted to give you the opposite of that. Stuff that ships out in 1 to 3 days, stuff that lasts a long time, is made of the highest quality equipment, stuff that's programmed properly, works as intended. And if you have a question, we're there to help you out. We do have a tech support page as well on the website. If you have a question, you can go on there, and we give you instructions with every device with pictures. Pictures, nice and easy. Listen, when I'm reading little instruction booklets that are this big and I'm trying to figure out what the hell they're talking about, it's impossible. I don't care what it is. It could be like anything. It could be a crock pot, and they'll give you a QR code or a little instruction booklet like this big. And listen, I'm blind, man. I'm trying to read it in the light. No, we give you a nice big thing. It's got pictures. There's no question about what I'm talking about. And then on the XLS and the SLS, we give you full video tutorials saved to the tablet that are like 20 to 25 minutes long, depending on the device. And we show you how to do everything in the video. Everything. So,
and you can always just send us a message, even if you're on an investigation. Send us a message. We'll get back to you. Like, just you can get text messages, so we'll answer. It doesn't matter what time of day it is.
The best part about the tutorial is always easy to refer to. But honestly, our mission is to give everybody an amazing experience, and our goal is to help everybody capture mind-blowing paranormal evidence. That's what we want. We want us all to be able to come together and use this stuff to prove that the spirit world exists. So one thing we didn't talk about is when I first experienced our haunting, we knew nothing about any of this, and we tried to talk to people. They would try to mock us, belittle us. Like, I think I almost got into a few fistfights over it. Like, really, like, people get really shitty and disrespectful over it. Yeah. And it would be great to put an end to that stigma. If the government can admit there's UFOs, it's time for all of us to prove that the spirit world exists one way or another. And we just want to give you guys the tools to do that. That's my little spiel.
Thanks. Well said.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us on. It's been a pleasure. We love talking paranormal.
Amazing talking to you. I'm so glad we did this, and I feel like learn so much more with you two. You know,
yes.
Yeah, it's very great.
That's awesome. You know, you guys gonna come on Wickedly Haunted the next time I actually get an episode together, and we like to have like impartial investigators after each 10-minute spiel of clips, give us your opinion.
All right.
You know, maybe I analyzed it wrong, or maybe you thought it was mind blowing, or maybe you saw something I didn't. We love it when other people come on, and it's more fun that way anyway. Fun
Yeah.
that way. So next time we do it, y'all have to come on. So hopefully
Well,
I can get around to it.
It's the least that you can do. I mean, you've done a lot for us. You know, you sold us an amazing piece of equipment at an affordable price, and we've captured amazing evidence with it. So, yeah, man, thank you, and we definitely appreciate that opportunity to come on.
Did I send you guys t-shirts?
No.
No. So DM me your
I'll email you.
sizes and whether you want white or black, and just give me your address again. I know I have it, but just give me your address again. And I'm putting together a batch. I'll send you guys some t-shirts.
Oh yes, awesome. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna email you. I'll email you that, but because I don't know if I ever did the loyalty thing, but I'm gonna go back to see if I did do that. I kind of want to say I did, and then I'll let you know on that.
Sounds good.
And the way you use the loyalty is right at checkout. There's a little drop down bar, like right at the end, where you would like pay for everything. So drop down, and it'll drop down and tell you how many points you have and which rewards you can use it on, and you just click on it. Or you can go to the Paracash page, and there's a button that says like view points, get rewards, and you can actually like produce a coupon code that you can use too. Either way.
Nice.
So, whoops. All right, but thank you so much for having us on. It's been a lot of fun. I love talking paranormal.
Have a great holiday.
Have a happy holidays, and
yes, I want to thank everybody on the chat room
thank you.
for being here with us. It's the season to give thanks, Thanksgiving. So I'm thankful to everyone on the chat. I'm thankful to Todd and Marissa for spending time with us. And next week, we're gonna have our first ever Friendsgiving. So stay tuned to that. And
if you guys anybody want to join us, I'm gonna share the link for anybody to join that StreamYard live next week. So anybody here in the chat can join that. It's gonna be a free for all.
And time to get
Thank you guys. Thank you. Have a good night.
Right, thank you so much. Don't forget to send me the stuff so I can send you t-shirts. Have a great night.
You too.
Say bye.
Bye.
Thanksgiving, y'all.
You too. Bye.